And welcome to the LV Home Experts Radio Show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you guys are just tuning into this channel for the first time, I'm Krulsawat with Simply Vegas, your Las Vegas Realtor, connecting you to the Las Vegas housing market. I got my right-hand man, the gurus of all gurus when it comes to financing, right? The man himself, the myth, the legend. That's right. Dan French with Guarantee Rate.
Come on down. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Beautiful Wednesday, huh?
You're dressing very well today. I like the way you're dressing, man.
Just
looks smooth, dude.
Just casual.
I like that, man. You should start wearing that.
The casual?
Yeah, the collar t-shirt and all that stuff. It matches you, dude.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Hey, I got you that band. How come you're not wearing it, dude? What's going on, man?
No, I think the band's cool, man. I just feel that...
What?
I'm not technologically savvy.
Oh, my gosh.
No, man. I like the band.
Yeah.
The band's cool.
Yeah.
It's the gesture. I'll probably wear it, man. I'm
probably wear it. Come on, dude. It's like the coolest thing ever, dude.
Well, the thing is so when you have that band, what does it do? It pops up your information?
Yeah, you just scan it, right?
Yeah.
So that way you don't have to give anybody your business card, dude. It's like the best thing ever, dude.
So how often do you use that?
Like never, but it's just a cool toy to have. It's like technology, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh.
So we got a lot of exciting news today. What we're going to be talking about is the first quarter of the year of 2021. That's right, 2021.
Damn, we already wrapped that up, huh?
Dude, 90 days went by quick, dude.
Damn, right? I felt like it's just still 2020.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I'm looking at my numbers. I'm like, yo, we need to do some more deals. The market is so crazy.
Dude.
Like what I am about to tell you, what's going on with the first quarter, it is unbelievable.
Very.
Some of these pricing is just, I can't believe it, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
seriously
crazy.
I literally submitted 3 offers for one client, $5,000 above the appraised value, right? And I went up to $10,000 and it got rejected. And it was like the cleanest offer. And I knew the agent.
Man, I got people that are posting stuff.
Yeah.
And literally 2 hours later, like I saw one at like 210,000 condo, right? All right, so somebody's gonna make an offer. Like 2 hours later, they're about to submit the offer. It's up to 228.
That is crazy.
And so they called me and they said, "Why did it jump $18,000 in 2 hours?"
Because somebody wanted it.
My seller's very complicated.
And I'm gonna tell you, you have to act very quickly in today's market. Let me tell you, I had a property that we put on the market for $500,000, right?
Yeah.
On Sunday, I had an agent reach on out to me, have a cash offer on the property.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, that's fine. And she was explaining to me that her client is not really technologically savvy, right?
Yeah.
And she would have to do things like by fax. She doesn't really know how to use an email. So I said, that's fine. I'm going to give you until Wednesday. But she finally called me today and just said, hey, look, I finally got the fax. And I said, unfortunately, the property was gone the day of. And, unfortunately,
hey, just tell her
you got to move fast. If you're not moving fast enough, dude.
I thought Telegram and fax were gone now.
Yeah. Or buggies, right?
Yeah. Who uses that?
Matter of fact, I can ask my niece. She probably doesn't even know what a fax machine is. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how old fax is. So all I'm saying is, in today's market, it is so aggressive. And I'm starting to wonder, are we actually in a bubble?
Oh, yeah.
It's starting to get
starting
nerve-wracking.
to really get there.
Now, here's the thing. I never was in the market in 2007, right?
Yeah.
When the market took place. But I was in the market of purchasing a condo. And I remember at this time, the condo was like $325,000. It was just something ridiculous. So we got financed.
Yeah.
We went to the condo with the agent. And I looked on the counter. You know how like agents, when you go to a home.
Cards?
Yeah, as a courtesy, you have to leave cards.
Do you have to, or is it just...
No, you don't have to. It's a courtesy. But anyway.
Is it more like, hey, look at me, I'm a realtor, and then it's like...
Yeah. See, what I do is I leave billboards like big old posters. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm going to do. Here, let me show you. This is what I'm going to do. Yeah. Guys, this is what I'm going to do from now on. Instead of leaving my business card, I'll leave like one of these, like big ones.
Just get a big piece of chalk, a pink chalk, and just put on the sidewalk. Chakits was here.
So anyway, there was like, it had to be at least like 30 something cards, right?
Yeah.
And I knew that there was something wrong at this point. And I think what really helped us out was when we looked at it, as far as what my mortgage would have been, and I think it was like at 280, maybe even like 300. It was so high.
Yeah.
This was just totally out of my comfort level.
Yeah.
So at that point, we decided, hey, you know what? We're just going to continue the rent. Luckily enough, a couple months later, the market tanks. That's when we bought our first home.
Well, look, so, it's funny. I was talking to somebody at one point about this guy was buying a house.
Yeah.
And guy made a killing off it, and he bought a home, and this was back when the prices just went crazy right after the whole collapse of the market, right? The housing market. And I asked him, I said, man, how did you know that this was going to happen? Or did you know? And he's like, no, man, I didn't know. He goes, literally, I basically just bought this house, had no idea this was going to happen. It's almost like hitting the lottery.
Yeah.
He goes, I cashed out $150,000.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like, because big investors, they came in and bought all these properties, right? So it kept driving the market. They were buying properties, just 5, 10 at a time. Yeah. I mean, it was just a lot, So it really brought up that market, and it really brought up his zip code.
Yeah.
Significantly. So
now I also remember having conversations, agents that were in the business, right? They were buying lots, and this is before you had contracts where it said where you could do subject to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or basically what that is, it's basically you take a contract and you assign that contract to somebody else. So they were like buying lots, right?
Yeah.
After they bought the lot, they would tie it into escrow, then sell it to another buyer that wanted that lot for like 5 and 10 grand. But you can no longer do that anymore. But I just feel like we are in those days now.
I think we're in days, though, that we've never seen before, too.
I think it's even worse.
I think it's on another level.
Yes.
I really do. Like, it's like, okay, we had this.
I don't know. Then, should you be buying right now?
Well, here's the thing. It's like what we saw back then, it seems like it's on steroids now.
Yeah.
Everything's higher. People don't care. We don't see an end in sight.
I feel like there's inflation. And am I nervous? Yes, I am. Yeah. And let me tell you, a lot of people think, hey, man, market is great. You're making a lot of money. Well, did you know it's very hard to get your offer accepted?
Oh, yeah.
Nowadays, especially on a resale, right?
Yeah.
It's like taking a knife to a gunfight. I swear, dude. Right? It's hard as an agent in today's market. It's very aggressive because
I'm curious.
Buyers have to pay above the appraised value and waive the appraisal. It's crazy.
What does that conversation start like if you have a selling agent? So it's like, all right, I got a solid one here. We're going 10 above. We don't even talk to anybody unless it's 15 or 20 above. It's like, well, wait a second. It's crazy because it's like, how does that whole conversation start?
We don't even have conversations with agents anymore. What it is, it's your agent has to understand today's market and what is going on. So let's just pretend that I just met a client for the first time. The first thing I'm going to do is educate them, obviously, what's going on with the housing market based upon what they're looking to purchase.
Yeah.
In addition to that, we also have to take a look at their financing. And remember, our last show, we talked about how to write up a clean offer, okay? How you submit an offer. All this stuff plays a big part. In addition to that, it also comes down to financing. If you're putting down 3%, 3.5%, or 5%, chances of you getting your offer accepted in today's market is also very slim, okay? The buyers want to see more money in the game. You see what I'm saying? Because it makes you a strong buyer. In addition,
the buyers want to see that?
No, I'm sorry. The sellers want to see that. I'm sorry. I misspoke. The sellers want to see that.
Sellers, yeah.
Because the agent wants to see that too as well. Because if you're barely scraping by, that tells the listing agent and also the seller, even though you are offering more money, right?
Yeah.
That this deal may not go through. But when you have a lot of money and you also show your bank statements, that also helps you out.
Yeah, it does. It does. Because people just want to know it's legit. But it's, I swear, the guy I just talked about, back in the day when I was speaking to him, the first time we had this market collapse, he thought he hit the lottery. Today, it's like same thing, but it just seems like everybody has some sense of entitlement now.
Yeah.
It's like, I know I can sell my house for this. And if I want to jump it up, I had one person, to tell you a story. We had somebody that was in contract. And literally, it was in contract. We had to send the notary the docs to get notarized outside of the state. Mm-hmm. And we had to wait one more day for the close of escrow. And they're like, look, if this thing doesn't close on time
today,
yeah,
my
sellers,
want more money, right?
My sellers are willing to pull the house off the market, because they think they can get another 10 or 15,000 from it,
and they probably could have, and also they could have kept the earnest money deposit.
Well, check this out though. So, who would want to go through all that for 10 or 15,000? Like,
I would.
Now you got really? You would do all that 30 days, 45 days to just get that little, like, there's no guarantee.
That's a lot of money though.
But there's no guarantee that they would have got that.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's only 5? You know what I mean? Like, they're already getting above value.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
What if you stretch it an extra 5? Okay, great. You got an extra 5 for 30 days. Mm-hmm. Does it make a difference?
I guess it doesn't make a difference.
So, I don't know. I was reading an article today, though.
Don't tell me about the 76 offers that was submitted on a property.
Yes, that was me.
Son of a beats.
No, I'm going to talk about the fact that, dude, it's record number of offers being put in above list price.
Yes.
34% in Las Vegas. Guess what it was last year?
What?
19%.
Yeah.
So what does that tell you? Next year it's going to be 60%.
Exactly.
And then next year it's going to be 90%.
I just pulled the data here. You wait until you see exactly what's going on the first quarter. This is about to boggle your mind. Okay?
That's crazy.
So what I'm getting at is, look, if you are a buyer in today's market, okay, if you're asking for closing costs, don't even waste your time by buying a home. It's going to be very difficult, okay? It's going to be very tough. In addition to that, you also have you have to have that mindset where you're probably going to have to pay above the appraised value, and you're going to have to come in with at least $5,000.
So this is how some people used to structure these deals.
Yeah.
You used to write up an offer. Mm-hmm. Let's say you needed $10,000.
Yes.
Okay. You write the offer. You go above $10,000. You hope the appraisal comes in, and the seller's like, "Okay, I'm going to give you closing costs."
Yep.
Those days are gone.
But what you're saying is you're rolling that over into the loan.
Right? So they're still getting their money, the seller, but is that still happening, or that's off the table?
No, it's off the table.
Wow.
And that's what I love about real estate. See, Vegas is such a trendy city where the real estate market transitions almost every single week. It's a whole different market. And if you're not an experienced agent where you're constantly, in the field, where you got your boots strapped up, and you're making moves, you're not going to know how to pivot. You know what I'm saying?
I think you should change a little bit on maybe location. You should be known as the new Pahrump, the real estate agent, because
I don't know if my vehicle can make it that far.
Pahrump hasn't been tapped in. So maybe you got to focus on Pahrump, man. Maybe Vegas is tapped out.
I mean, you could be right about that.
Or maybe you go towards Utah. Mm-hmm. Maybe you're go on past the.
Good. So you want to know something? The day that you get licensed as a real estate agent, right, and you hang your license with me, you're going to be the designated agent that specializes in Pahrump.
Hey, I'm going to get a rent-a-car.
There you go.
That's what I'm going to do.
You should drive your truck.
Yeah, right. It won't make it. It'll die out halfway.
You can always Uber it.
Yeah, right.
Talking about that, man. Pahrump agents don't like agents out in Las Vegas. It's crazy. I did a deal out there. And
what about Mesquite?
I ain't going out.
Go to Mesquite.
Well, if I go out to Mesquite, I'm taking my dirt bike.
One thing about Mesquite is the buffet never shut down in Mesquite. I got people that are traveling in about an hour and a half so they can go to a buffet during the pandemic.
Yeah, this is crazy. All right, let's get right into it. So we're going to take a look, and we're going to talk about the whole Las Vegas Valley. So right now for the whole Las Vegas Valley, and this is for single-family residents only, right? Dan?
Yep.
And this has to do with the median price point. So the median, and what we talk about the median, so that way you guys get a clear understanding here, is you take the lowest closings and also the highest closings, you divide it and you kind of bring it into the middle.
Yeah.
And that's what the median is. This is not the average price. Now, the average price is going to be a lot higher. But this is the median price across the whole Las Vegas Valley. When I say the whole Las Vegas Valley, I'm going to include unincorporated Las Vegas, the city of Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, Henderson, and also Boulder City. So the median price point for a home today is $363,000. First, the beginning of the year was what, $345,000. That's about a $18,000 profit within 90 days.
I remember 7 years ago when I got an offer come in at 360, 375. I was like, wow, they're buying a big home.
That's big balling right there.
That's like another level stuff. That's like when you're like, all right, you got the typical buyer, and then you got the buyer with all the assets, and they got all the 800 credit scores and all this stuff. And when I got that stuff come in, man, I'm just like, wow, these people know what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So
it's crazy.
Price per square foot, right, is going to be about $200 a square foot, the median across the valley. Average days on the market right now is actually 7 days. That's how fast these properties are moving. Now, what could you get for the median price point for $363,000? Well, 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, 2-car garage, roughly about 1,900 square feet.
That's a pretty good size home.
Yes.
It is.
But now, if we take a look at the delta between the beginning of the year until now, 90 days, we are up 5%.
So if you bought a home in January,
yes,
or late December, you would be up 5% equity in your property.
As of today, first quarter. That is
so no wonder why people are going above price. If it keeps going this way.
If it keeps going this way, that means it could go up 20% this year.
Buy now.
Say that again. Do it.
Buy now.
No, we're not telling you to buy now. You guys got to make that financial educated decision.
Yeah.
This is not a show where we tell you to buy, or sell. This is a show where we just break it down. We just really just tell you how it is. And you got to take a look at the data yourself. And if it makes sense for you and your family, then go ahead and buy. If it makes sense to sell, then go ahead and sell. But obviously, when that time comes, we definitely would love the opportunity to earn your business. Oh, you like that pitch?
Oh, man.
Was that a pitch?
I was sold at hello.
Were you? So now everything is going to be broken down to areas, neighborhoods. So this is just kind of give you a general idea. So now if we looked on the west side of the Las Vegas Valley, which is Summerlin, because I get a lot of calls, and majority of the calls that I do get, right, the first thing that they say is, put me in Summerlin until they figure out how much the price is. So let's break this down. The median price point in Summerlin. Uh-oh.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Why are they knocking at your door?
All right, Dan. Enough with the jokes.
All right, man.
No, I'm just joking. That was actually funny. Okay, so if we take a look in Summerlin, the median price point for 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, you get 2,214 square feet, right? The median price is $458,000 at $240 a square foot. 6 days on the market. Dude,
wow.
Check that out. From the median price point from 363 all the way up to 458. Isn't that such a huge gap? Almost
crazy.
like $100,000
No,
more.
I was just reading something about that.
Just living up in Summerlin.
I was just reading that the home that you had last year,
Yeah.
the increase is like $100,000. People are trying to sell it $100,000 more than what they had it for last year.
Like, I don't know if I should just take all my holdings and just dump them. You know what I'm saying?
You want to know what's crazy too is that
Yeah.
we don't see it stopping. That's the scary part.
Yeah. Like, I don't even know what's going on. All I know is, you know what? Get it while it's hot.
Yeah.
Work your butt off.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's move over to the southwest Las Vegas Valley. But before I do that, let me do this. I'm going to pull up a map because this is important, guys, because...
You know what you should do?
Yeah.
You should just point a camera at that map right there that you have on your wall.
Can you hold the camera for me?
Right there is Southwest.
Right there is the Southwest. Hold on. Let me do Las Vegas maps. Why don't you entertain some of these people here real quick?
Well, let me get the map, and I'll entertain them.
Okay.
I'll have to get a little Sharpie. Right here is where you don't want to be, and then right here, and then Chuck, you won't get in trouble, right? If I like redline.
Okay, so You're fired. We got to let you go. I'm sorry, Dan. See, this is what happens when you start clowning around too much, and I let the leash go a little bit. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you want to explain what redlining is?
No, we're just joking. Redlining is where you want to direct somebody to buy in a specific area.
Yes, and we don't do that. We don't need to do that. At the end of the day, we are just going to educate you guys. So let's take a look at this map view together, okay? So this gives you a pretty good idea. So let's go back here. So this is the whole Las Vegas Valley right here. Here's the north side of town. Here's the south, the west, and here's on the east side of town. Remember, this data is based upon this whole area right here, right? Including Boulder City, Henderson, right? All this good stuff here. So now let's focus right here on this Summerlin. We talked about this. $458,000 at $240 a square foot. 6 days on the market. 6 days on the market.
North Las Vegas? That's a good map, dude. You should have that one up all the time.
Dude, North Las Vegas is up here, dude.
That's what I'm looking at.
Okay, well, hold on. Hold your horses, man. We ain't up there yet. Now, we're going to move on to over here, the Centennial Hills area.
Oh, I thought you were circling closer to North Las Vegas.
Which is northwest Las Vegas, Dan.
Gotcha.
If we take a look, okay, for 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, you get 2,100 square feet, okay? The median price is $395,000 here, okay? At $187 a square foot. Average days on the market is 7 days. So what does this tell you, Summerlin versus the Centennial Northwest area? It's cheaper.
Okay.
I should probably just pull up this data here so that way you guys can actually see. So let's focus here on the North Las Vegas Valley. So North Las Vegas, the city, right?
Oh, yeah.
3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. You get 1,750 square feet. The median price point for a home is $322,000. You're paying $185 a square foot.
In North Las Vegas?
In North Las Vegas. The
There you
average
go.
days on the market is 6 days. Okay. Now,
Is that high?
for North Las Vegas?
For any period like right now? I thought it was just you put it on the market and it's done, it's gone in a day.
Remember, everything is all broken down by location, sectors, neighborhoods, right? Communities, right? So this is just to kind of give you an idea. So let's move on here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer here. Let me zoom in here. I'm going to consider this on the east side of town, right?
I see.
Sunrise, right? So Sunrise, right now, you are looking at 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 1,450 square feet. The price, right, the median right now is $267,000 at $180 a square foot. Average days on the market is only 10 days. So if we take a look throughout the whole Las Vegas Valley right now, this is the cheapest place to purchase a home in today's market.
That area?
This area right here.
Now, I'm going to say something. I think they're doing some type of construction because that area is, from what I've been talking to people about, some people I know, that area is going to increase over the next few years because of,
every area is going to increase.
well, there's something that they're going to, I think they're talking about taking out Nellis Air Force Base and they're putting something else in there. I think it's like a highway or a freeway or something where it builds value in that area.
That I don't know.
It's all speculation, but this is what I heard.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens.
So now let's take a look at the city of Henderson. So I broke down the city of Henderson because the population is about almost 400,000 at this time. And the city of Henderson, if you take a look at the household income, it's going to be a lot higher than the city of Las Vegas and also unincorporated Las Vegas. So keep this in mind. The median price point for a home right now is $425,000 at $114 a square foot. Average days on the market is 7 days. What you get is 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 2-car garage, 2,061 square feet. However, Summerlin is a lot more expensive right now than Henderson by about $25,000. Okay?
That's it?
That's a lot of money.
Is it?
$25,000 more?
Yeah, I mean, it's little. I mean, I would think it would be bigger because it's just everybody going crazy right now.
However, you also have to take a look, right? The city of Henderson, their square footage, right, at 425, you're getting 2,061 square feet. versus $25,000 more, let's just say, right? Now you get 2,214 square feet. So you're getting about 150 square feet more. So now the question is it actually worth it to move to the city of Henderson or city of Summerlin? Because if you move to Summerlin, you're going to pay more money, but you're going to get your square footage probably like 140, 150 more.
In Henderson?
No, in
Summerlin.
In Summerlin, yeah. So now you got to weigh your pros and cons.
Yeah, that's a good one, actually.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now let's move along to Enterprise, because what happens is here on Enterprise, located here on the Southwest Valley, if you take a look, I do like this location for a couple of reasons, because our primary sector right here is casino and hospitality, right? So a lot of your workforce is going to be here. You also have the 215 and you have the 15 right here. And you have this little road, the 160, where Dan's going to drive all the way up here, take you all the way up to Pahrump, because that's where he's going to be selling homes. So give him a call.
In my truck.
In his truck.
That will break down about halfway there.
A lot of your families that are starting, they tend to flock here, right? And what I also notice on the south side of here in the valley has more retention as far as value than the north side, because again, your casino is going to be right here and the strip is right here.
Yeah.
The commute time is a lot less, right?
Yeah.
So if we take a look, $410,000 for the median at $198 a square foot. Average days on the market is 7 days. You get 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, 2-car garage, 2,022 square feet. So I mean, that's not bad. So
no, it's not bad.
So the reason why this data is important is because you got to get educated in today's market, right? You really got to know what's going on. Okay, you got to break it down like how we're breaking it down here.
Yeah, I think too, like, you know, you have a lot of changes, and we always talk about pivoting and always adapting, and this stuff changes every single week now.
It does.
Daily, really. Basically. You know, it's one of those things that if you're not on top of your game, given the information, you're going to be left out. It's real simple, though. I think that a lot of people just come here and they're like, I don't care what happens. Just give me my house.
Yes.
That's how it works right now. And it's a little different. If you're somebody out there that wants to watch.
And that's not a good thing, because you can be putting yourself in a bad situation. Look, I had a client that we got under contract on their home. They wanted to sell it. Yeah. But they were so antsy, and they wanted to go out and they wanted to buy another home. I told them, we need to wait until we close out on this deal. I said, you can literally jeopardize and lose $5,000. Yeah. But they were so adamant that, hey, I want to go under contract because I know that this home's going to sell. I said, look, don't count your chips until the money's in the bank. So what we did was we put $5,000 down into a deal. They went out. We found a home. I got them locked up under contract, right? Then their buyer on their home could not perform due to financing, fell out. So we had to cancel out of the other deal. See, that's the reason why it's
called impulsive buying.
Basically.
That's exactly. It's like if you go to a store and you're like, there's a line and everybody wants to get the same thing. It's like, you know, should I wait for it? No, I'm just going to jump in and I'm going to just get it when I can.
Now, I did explain to them, like, this stuff could happen. But you know what? At the end of the day, that's not my decision. It's your decision, right? My job is just to inform you, educate you, and get your back. But I was able to get the earnest money deposit back. However, we put the property back on the market. It is now under contract, and we're getting closed here in the next couple of days. And we're not looking at another property until we actually close this deal.
It's a good point.
So what I'm trying to get at is, look, just because you bought a couple homes, right, throughout your lifetime, you have to understand that the housing market, especially in Las Vegas, it's so trendy. It shifts on a consistent basis.
Oh, yeah.
So just because you bought a couple homes doesn't mean you are a professional. What you need to do is really find somebody that knows the market very well, and they can educate you, get you caught up to pace, so that way when you are submitting offers, you're going to get your offer accepted in today's market. That is so very, very valuable. And also, you need to work with the right lender too as well. Because the last thing I want you to do is go down to a traditional bank. You walk right in, right? You bank with them. They know you can get finance. Loan originator, right? Didn't run you through the whole system through underwriting.
And that loan originator?
I mean, DU, right?
Is not Vegas Loan Guru.
Yeah, exactly. And there's only one guru here. And he's got a cul-de-sac.
Where's that cul-de-sac?
I can't talk smack because I got one coming up right
Hey,
here.
man.
Oh, no, it's right here. Look at this.
Hey,
It's coming up
that
right here.
spray is going to be happening here shortly.
Is it?
I was just-
Hey, have you seen that story? It's like, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. That thing looks real, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. And you just kind of line it up.
Yeah.
Like you do one of those. And
Now I just lost my train of thought. I don't know where I was going with this. All I'm saying is, look, you're going to have to work with a right agent, a right lender. And you really, in today's market, you want to build that dream team.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? This is like so important. Because what has to happen is you guys got to work together and strategize, right? Based upon your situation, right?
Yeah.
To get your offer accepted. So there's so much moving parts. But I want to get right into the next segment. Let's get right into financing. What do we got, Dan?
yeah, let's talk about that, man.
You sound like you.
I'm tired.
All right, let's do this again. Let's get right into financing.
Oh, yeah.
With Dan.
So let's talk about rates. Everybody knows mortgage rates have been going up.
Yeah, everybody always talks about rates, right?
They've kind of tamed on inflation. The government, and other things in the news has kind of taken its place. So we see negative news, and everybody knows negative news in the market is good for bonds, which ultimately is good for mortgage rates. Now, they talked about the highest increase in taxation coming up. That also could be a problem, right? And so, go ahead.
Can I ask you a quick question
Sure.
for the audience?
Yeah.
You just mentioned that negative news
Yes.
is good news, right? Is that correct?
That is correct.
Explain that.
So anytime you have something where big investors, it's not the average investor, not somebody out there that's like, they got 5 million. We're talking
Countries.
billions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Billions of dollars. They're making the whole thing move. They're moving the needle. Right.
Yeah.
And so when they invest a bunch of money, it's normally because they feel confident. All of this is based upon consumer confidence, business confidence. It's all about what the economies are doing, the world is doing. We're all connected. So when you look at somebody that has a lot of money they're investing and they look at, well, the stock market is doing really well and the economy is doing well, let's put our money to play.
Yeah.
It's almost like gambling, right? I'm going to put it here. Maybe I buy some treasuries, whatever. The point is they're doing that. And then when they see that the economies or there's something negative, not even just locally,
Yeah.
geopolitical, you see some negative stuff. Wait a second. Could this have an impact on our economy?
Yeah.
Could this have an impact on us? What do I want to do with that money? And this is not just one person making decisions. There is some people out there with that money, but usually it's a bunch of people pulling their money together and they're investing the money together, maybe buying bonds or treasuries or whatever they're buying. So they pull it back. They say, I'm going to put it into the bond market. That's a safe haven. Safe haven is where you don't get the highest yield.
But you guarantee your money.
It's not guarantee. It's just a slower yield, but it's a little bit more of a conservative approach.
I thought the bond market is more of a secured.
It is. It's more of a safe haven, more secure, more of a slow process. You're not going to get the big yield returns that you get going into the stock market.
But they do have, let me just clarify this. They have 3-year bonds, 5 years, 10 and 15 and 30-year bonds as well.
Yeah, so they got short-term bonds, long-term bonds.
Yep.
We talk about bonds and mortgages. That's what it is, long-term bonds.
So the 30-year is the one that reflects towards mortgages. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So when you look at what the economies are doing right now and what we see a lot of volatility. We see the market starting to recover, government stepping in, maybe buying mortgage-backed securities. So they're really trying to manipulate the markets. Now, in some cases, you have like taxation. I just talked about it, where taxation is not a good thing. What does that mean? It means that it's good news for bonds. What could happen? Well, inflation's gone down, but let's go back to inflation. Inflation's another barometer. Why? Because businesses look at, well, if I hire these people, if my costs and goods and services go up, it's going to go up all the way down the chain. So it's ultimately going to cost me more money, right? So when people see inflation, that's why it's like, oh my gosh, that's a barometer to look at. Okay, so how is it going to affect the economy? How is it going to affect the self-employed business, the business owner out there? So when you see a lot of these things happening, it's really just, I hate to say it, but it's manipulation. It's artificial positioning with the government of, well, we can pull one string here and this other string is going to kind of get us back. It's almost like a is. So when you go back to it, when you look at the news that's come out, this is a weekly basis of what we're giving you. Rates haven't done much. Look, last time I looked, it was 3.175. I think 3.17 or 3.17. That was a 30-year fixed. And then you look at the 15-year, which was at, I think it was 2.45.
You know what I find fascinating?
And
that,
go ahead.
3.1 is a high interest rate. Everybody complains about that. It seems like everybody wants a credibility.
Well,
to be under the 2. You know what I'm saying? Like under the 3.
I think it's a shock factor. Give you an example. If I know rates are 2.5 to 3%,
yeah,
and they jump to 3.5,
yeah,
okay, for a period of time, I'm gonna sit there. Wow, that's crazy. I'm gonna pull back. There's gonna be time. Maybe a month. A month later, I'm gonna call them and be like, you know what, 3.5 is not so bad. I've adjusted personally, internally, and I've gotten over that shock factor that rates just jumped up.
Yeah,
people get back in the market. It's one of those things that a lot of people got rates that were 3.5 to 4%. So it doesn't make sense to refi. But in some cases it does. If you have cash out, a lot of cash equity, right? A lot of properties with equity in it. So it really depends on everybody's position. But if you're saying, is 3% or 3.5 a high interest rate? We've talked about this before. No.
Yeah.
It's not.
But I think the new generation looks at it and they're like, it's high.
It's high.
But I mean, how much does it really affect your payment? And I think that's what people need to understand.
Well, they also look at, there's like other things that come out.
Yeah.
Governments know this stuff. They put the stimulus check in there. Some people are using it. But it's no coincidence that we had, people getting TVs delivered. They're buying.
Yeah.
They're buying stuff. Gross domestic product. They know that if you get money, you're going to spend it. 55% roughly were up on people booking travel flights and traveling. 55% and we're 50% capacity. We're not even 100%.
Yeah.
Boom.
And that strip is packed.
And it's already booked. That means that when the stimulus check come out, they said when the stimulus check came out, 55% of people are starting to book vacations and trips. Is it because of that? Or are they going to save it for a rainy day? I don't know. I mean, maybe there's something to it. They want to get the economy started. They want to get it back to where it was at, which it's still not. The airlines have a far way to go to get this stuff back to where it needs to be, or when we started pre-COVID. But all of these things are put in place strategically to kind of stimulate the economy. So that's what we're seeing right now. One of the things that you have to look at post going into the where we're at right now with the COVID and how everything's starting to recover. They said that there's a few things that you might consider when this all happens this year with COVID. They said that home values will grow as the economy recovers, but at a slower pace. Most people will start listing their homes, which they've been doing.
Yeah.
The condo market will heat up, which it is. Why? Because of supply and demand.
Yeah.
Right? And then you have to look at rents will rise quickly, which they are. All of these things are happening this year.
But what's crazy is the rents have not caught up yet here in
Vegas. But they're still rising. I know people that have rents that are like, you know what? The average area for here, they're rising $100 and $200 in some areas.
Now, what I'm also starting to see is that you have commercial developers.
Yeah.
They are actually building a lot of storage units all over the valley.
Yeah.
This is fascinating because that just shows you the supply and demand of storage units. That means a lot of people are just moving on out here.
People are moving out here, but they're moving everywhere. Yeah. It's like you look at record numbers. You got people that are, you got house values and people going above. It's not just in Vegas where they're saying we're going to go above $10,000 or $15,000, $20,000. Sacramento, Midwest, Texas. I mean, all of these places are just booming right now.
Yeah.
And it really comes down to supply and demand. You look at what's going on too with a news article that came out I wanted to talk about. We do a lot of volume of new homes.
Yeah.
And what is the thing we talked about consistently about new homes and what's really driving, really how it's slowing down the markets and what's contributing? It's lumber.
Yeah.
So
up 200%.
Up 200%. You have people, Woodside Homes just had somebody go and steal lumber from them.
I heard about that, yeah.
What is that going to do for the average person?
Was that American West?
No, it was Woodside Homes. Woodside Homes.
No, it was a joke.
Oh. So I thought you were serious. So Woodside Homes, though, like, what if this happens to you and that's your house? Or what if this is now you saw what happened with these Cadillac converters.
Yeah.
Starts in California, starts to go west. You know, same thing. If people start stealing lumber because they know the cost is there, people's houses aren't going to get built.
Well, check this out, Dan.
We're going to be in a problem.
When it comes to lumber, check this out. I just had a conversation with a builder today. Basically, the radiant barrier is a type of coating that goes underneath the roof, right?
Yeah.
To reflect the heat, right? So it's like a foil, right?
Yeah.
So basically what's happening now is that because the lumber is low on supply, this builder no longer has radiant barrier. So now what they are doing is sending out addendums to all the buyers that are under contract and having them waive the radiant barrier.
There was a builder.
That's crazy, dude.
It's crazy, and I'm going to say people don't see what's going on the inside, right? We get a little bit more because we're talking to these people, talking to the builders. These builders, they had like 50, I think it was like 50 reservations for lots.
Yeah.
That were already in, and they had like another 65 behind it.
Yeah.
And they can't produce anymore. Are they putting people on hold? Like, it seemed like there's nothing to buy out there right now, right?
No, but if you want to get juice, give me a call.
You got the inside?
Because I got the juice.
VIP host?
I got the juice. Vegas, baby.
But isn't that not true? You got people that are really just
right.
kind of, I mean, how long is the wait for a home right now?
Dude, check this out. So basically what could happen is you get on this waiting list, right? Now that you're on this waiting list, it could be 3 months before it gets, released. Once it gets released, now you are on a drawing. So you may not even get that home. So now let's just say if you did get that home, because that's the model that you want.
Yeah.
They may not even be able to build that model. So you're out. Now, if they could build that model, you may not get the elevation that you want. Also, a lot of builders now, because lumber has gone up 200%, what they are now doing is buying ahead of time, right? Because of inflation.
Yeah.
So how this affects you is that model that you want, when you go through the structural items to build your home, you may not be able to get that fourth bedroom into a den. You may not be able to get that bathroom, that spa-like.
So what if the contract says
what
that,
happens?
Though? Go ahead.
Well, they rewrite the contract. So what happens?
They rewrite it.
Yeah. So now what happens is based upon the contract.
Yeah.
What they now do is they select of how we are going to do the structural. So if you want it, you buy it. If you don't, somebody else is going to buy it. So now you have no choice for structural items at this point. The only thing that you'll have is cosmetics to the home.
At that point, though, do you say, okay, well,
you just buy the home.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You go buy a new home for what?
No matter if it's
you want it your own style.
Well, you want it your own style.
You want your own you want your own way of making the house.
You have to understand it's so much supply. It's so much demand, less supply. Consumers are no longer caring for that. They're just like, I just want to get a home.
But if it's me and I'm buying a new home, I'm getting what I want. That's like going and buying a car. You don't just go buy a car and say, well,
you're absolutely right.
I'm going to get the bare bones and I'm not going to get it. I'm not even going to get a radio.
I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's what's happening in today's market. Also, what's happening in today's market is very fascinating to me is that a lot of these builders now are cutting the commissions, right, of the agents because they no longer need the agents to bring in the buyers because it's supply and demand. Even I notice on these listings on the resale, you have agents out here today that they're cutting their commissions, right, so low to the point where they're basically doing it for free.
Well, you know what? I think it's
because it's easy money.
Desperate times bring desperate measures. So you got to feed your family.
Right now, and I'm hungry.
Got to feed your family.
You know how much I love pho.
I don't think, yeah, right? Yeah, you turned me on to that. But I don't think, these prices and these things that's going on, it's not going to be here forever.
Yeah.
So you might need to weather the storm if you're in an industry like this.
Yeah.
You really do. But if you look at where the housing market is headed, you talked about bubble and I'm going to talk to you about this. So what are your thoughts on why? We don't know these answers, but I'm just curious.
Oh, CC, you got $5.
Hit that like button.
Hit that like button, baby. Thank you so much, CC. Nothing but love. You know what? I love this girl right here. She a true fan.
Yeah.
True fan.
True fan. She's always on, man.
Yeah.
She's always giving me a shout too on my channel. So she's a.
Oh, you got a channel?
Not really.
Hey, you got a channel?
Just like,
Bro, all this time you had a channel?
yeah, I got a
What's the
channel
channel?
right to my office, and we'll do a loan application right after the show.
Well, let's give you a generic plug.
No,
there.
I want to talk to you about something though.
What's the
Before we
channel
even
real
get
quick?
to that point, hold on.
Okay.
You said
I don't know what I said.
I'm going to tell you. You said that you brought up a bubble.
Yeah.
Okay. You said we're in a bubble, and I'm curious. Where's the data for that? Where you feel that way? It doesn't mean you're wrong, right or wrong, but why do you feel that way? I'm just curious.
For me, because I've been in the business now for 10 years, and I can see how fast that the home pricing has increased. Okay. I've never seen a market where it increases like 5% within a quarter.
Well, but
okay. In addition, well, let me finish. You're asking the question.
Go ahead.
Also, if you take a look, the average household income is $56,000. We're above 10 times, and that's if we look at the average. Like, that is unbelievable.
Oh, she's a big fan too. Give it up for Crystal.
Thank you very much. Number
Hey.
one fan.
Shout out to her too, man.
Yep.
She's always on the show. She's always commenting. She's always saying, "What's up, Chakits?" So you definitely got to say hi to her.
Oh,
man.
you know what? I can't believe this. She's a number one fan, but Cece is also a fan. So the question is, who is?
I think it's a tie,
number
and I'm
one?
not trying to be like, "Well, I'm going to play the easy
Yeah.
card here." I really think it's a tie. I always see them both on this stream.
Yeah.
Every stream we do, they're in it, man.
Nothing but love. Thank you so much, girls. They look beautiful
they're
too,
awesome.
don't
Yeah, definitely,
they? Definitely.
most definitely.
Thank you so much, guys. Well, ladies.
So to
appreciate
go
it.
back at your thing when you were talking about, and I want to say, thank you guys so much for giving that shout out with the money. Your situation though is different because you're saying that the prices and everything is going on, but what's different is people are moving here that have money. So the average median wage earner or the income is not necessarily needed because people can still put a large amount down and then find a job to sustain that mortgage or to sustain the payment. If you don't exceed, let's say, $200,000 or $300,000 on that loan amount. Yeah, Rocco's always here too, man. We got to give it up to Rocco.
That's not Rocco.
No, but I know Rocco, man. He's always up on here too, man. So is Based Zoomer. So
Based Zoomer.
No, and I'm not just. I see him every time, man.
Well, you're the one that's always reading.
Yeah,
this
that's what I'm
board.
saying. I'm like, oh yeah, I see him all the time.
All right. Oh, this is getting fun. All right. What
No, I'm just saying when we go back to it though, it's like, the average person, if they move from California or another state and they come here, the thing I have to say is that they're not going to get a mortgage of $600,000 or $700,000, which homes are selling for. If you're somebody working here, you live here, and you try to sell your house, you might have that money. But the chances are you're going to have extra money coming from another state when you're selling your house for a premium.
I know, but when we take a look at the housing market, what you have to do is look at our primary sector, what the average household income is, because now we're looking at a macro level. Does that macro level, is that enough income to supply the housing? But the way you're looking at it is you're looking at, out of states coming in here. So you have to take a look at a macro level. You see what I'm saying?
I do, but I'm just saying, I look at it, what is the outside source or the outside force that's going to come in that will derail this? And I would look at it like, you go back, what derailed it back then was the fact that we were writing bad mortgages. People were writing stated income, putting people in homes, just a matter of time.
Yeah.
What about now though? See, the difference is what is the data or what is going to happen here that's going to say this is the root cause of why we had it.
Root cause is going to be right, but I can tell you that according to core logic, right, when it comes to a housing market, a stabilized market is 3%. I don't know how accurate that is, but that's what I'm being told, or that's what I've read. But I mean, you can't have a housing market that goes up 10, 15, 20% a year.
Yeah,
that's like unbelievable. So that tells you there's some sort of hyperinflation coming.
Well, but there's got to be some type of outside force, in my opinion, that is going to contribute or start the fire, right? You got to get the spark.
Well, here's the thing: the fire is already lit. We're in the fire right now.
I'm talking about look. I get what you're saying. You see an abundance of things happening. You see prices going up.
Yeah.
what is the deciding factor though? Because it could keep going up for another 5 years.
It could.
We're still like, maybe we're still going, but 5 years from now, what is it going to be?
So the question is, look, a lot of people that are moving out here, they're working.
Oh!
Let's get it.
Heck yeah. Thick thighs save lives.
Thick thighs save lives. Okay, got it.
I'm down with that.
All right, I'm down too.
I like thick thighs.
I love chicken wings. Crispy, extra crispy. That's the way I make it. Give a shout out to Dave. We really do appreciate that. You are the man. So where were we, Dan? I'm sorry.
I just said, what is the outside force that's going to come in? Look, there's a lot of powerful information out there.
I just don't think our economy can self-sustain the housing pricing to go up the way it is, because you have outside buyers that are coming out here. They're buying it. But then if you take a look, the people that are buying this and paying cash, they actually do work out of state or they're working from home. So you have to understand our main or primary sector is casino and hospitality, right? Are we going to be shifting over into AI? You see what I'm saying? Are people going to be working from home?
Well, no, I think that you're going to already see people do that. Look.
But what is the percentage? That's what I'm trying to say.
Hospitality's coming back. I just read an article that said hospitality jobs.
It doesn't matter if it's coming back.
I'm just telling you, hospitality jobs are coming back. The economy's starting to get back. It's not going to be anywhere near it needs to be probably till the end of the year.
Yeah.
They're talking about recovery times third quarter, fourth quarter. What I'm saying is you got hospitality coming back, all these things happening. So normally you don't see things starting to open up like that. You don't see things, you see things retracting. You see businesses starting to pull back or retract. We're not seeing that. And I think we're seeing these things happening because there's consumer confidence out there in the economy and it's slowly going up. So the question is, I don't know either, but I always I always ask this question to everybody when they say, well, the economy is going to collapse and we're in a bubble. And, well, where's the force that's going to create the actual collapse? And I think that's what I'm always looking for, and I think you gave a good answer, but I'm still just,
it's just not good enough.
I'm just trying to figure out what it would be. I was getting your idea about it, like, what are your thoughts? Like what the cause would be? I think we are obviously going up, but what is that cause?
You know what? I think it's just going to come down to the feds printing more and more money. And eventually what's going to happen, I think the feds is going to be the cause of this, because you can only print so much money. Guys, I just wanted to say thank you so much for tuning into this show. So whenever you guys got some free time, what I need you guys to do is visit Dan French. So he does have a YouTube channel. It has to do with financing, real estate, Money Talk podcast.
Oh, we got another $4.99.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Man.
So go ahead and check out Dan. He looks like he has 113 subscribers. He needs more subscribers. We got to get him up to 1,000 subscribers. That's
I'm going to give you a quick shout out. It's hard to run a show.
Yeah.
And also carry the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to run all this equipment. You got to run all this information and run the show. And it's hard, man.
I really do appreciate that. That being said, when you got some free time, don't forget to visit lvhomeexperts.com. And it's a great website to get started. So that way you can start your home search. We have properties from bank-owned properties, foreclosures. We have everything here from short sales.
Call now.
Whatever you want. Now, before you start looking at homes, make sure to go to the financing button. This will route you over to Dan French with guarantee rate, the gurus of all gurus. You're going to click the start button. From here, from the start button, you're going to hit the apply now. That is right. Apply
I'm hiring
now.
you, Chuck, man. That was epic right there.
Is that epic? Well, guys, I really do appreciate each and every one of you guys from the bottom of my heart. If you guys have not had a chance to subscribe to this channel, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Hit that notification button so that way you guys can get updated with all brand new properties that just hit the market. And also give us a thumbs up too as well. Until next time, I'm Chakits.